It's the length of a queen, but the width of a full-size bed.
So we have a 24-volt system, and we also have a 12-volt system.
It is hard to have alone time when you are in such a confined space.
Hi, I'm Jonluc.
And I'm Jackie.
And this is our rig Eustace and our dog Delilah. Welcome to our kitchen. This is an important spot because even when we're home, we all end up in the kitchen hanging out. So we wanted to make the kitchen feel really homey because no matter where we are, we end up around food and drinks and hanging out. So that was really important for us to make this have a lot of character. I promise you it did not look like this 2 years ago. There's water damage all back behind this. When we bought this, the countertop had so much water damage. It was like particle board and it was like bent in. And I tried to just patch it and get things done without ripping everything out, but we ended up having to rip everything out, and we bought some wood, cut it, stained it, sealed it. Been rocking ever since. So originally in these motorhomes, they give you a propane fridge, and you have the option to run off propane or a lot of power. And ours was broken, and I didn't want to fix it, and I wanted to get a Dometic fridge that ran 100% on electricity, but those ones are so expensive. I found this fridge from Truck Fridge for a fraction of the price, and it's kind of bigger than theirs, so I'm extremely happy, and it's all black. Originally, right here, this was closed in because a propane fridge has to vent out the heat and the fumes. Since this isn't propane anymore, I cut it in, built this cabinet where we store goodies. I worked at a cabinet shop for a portion of time to try to afford all this, and had a lot of tools to build that. So built and stained that. I also built this cabinet drawer that holds all our pots and pans. It originally was a 2-top, but it was not efficient, and you could fit like the cutting boards, and that was it. So I ripped it out and made one big drawer. That's been awesome. This is where we keep most of our food. Up top we have beans and all the goodies and dry goods, and over here is mostly seasoning and coffee supplies. Coffee's obviously real important, that doesn't even need to be said. We got silverware, more silverware, our trash is in here. You got the 3-burner stove, you got the oven, and this is convenient because when we're washing dishes, you can kind of just put that there, wash and then clean. Another thing I really like about this in the kitchen is when you're cooking, you kind of have like all this counter space. So you can slide that back there and cook. So even though we don't have a lot of counter space, with this little table we made, kind of works pretty well, I guess. So like I grew up always working with my hands, but when you step into an RV, that's all completely different. So it doesn't matter if you've never worked with your hands before, because even if you have, things change when you're in a space like this because nothing is square, nothing makes sense, and everything, especially if you're renovating an RV, it's completely different. Like everything is very thin and cheap, and so to make something have longevity, you have to reinforce it, and that's what majority of this was for us, was reinforcing it and trying to make things more sustainable for day to day than opposed to a weekend trip to the mountains. So living in a tiny space does come with its challenges.
It is hard to have alone time when you are in such a confined space and you're with your significant other every single second of the day. And it comes with challenges, but sometimes you need to go on a walk, or sometimes you need to maybe just hang out outside for a minute while the other person is able to use the bathroom at peace. It's little things like that.
Yeah. And I think arguing, like learning to argue, is like really healthy, because if you just bottle it up, you're in a tight space, and just know that whoever you're with, you're gonna be with them for the long term. Me and Jackie have been together for 10 years and been married for 4 of them, and you get to a certain point where you know like the small things that happen are very small and minute compared to your relationship. And so get it out, don't hold it in, and just move on. Be humble, be quick to forgive, and always be loving.
So this is our living room. This is where we spend most of our time, whether it's on the couch, watching movies, or our little work area here / dining area. This area actually used to be a huge dinette, and it took up so much space. So we just had a very narrow walkway. So we really wanted to have more walk space. So we ripped out the dinette and we built a sectional. So because Eustace is a 1993 RV, it came with the most beautiful fabrics everywhere, which we took out. And I put couch covers, we reupholstered the sectional, all just to make it a little bit more up to date. We got pillows, blankets. I always need a blanket handy. So I have a blanket in pretty much every space. This couch is also a second bed. This is like our guest bedroom. It pulls out. It's a jackknife sofa. So we're actually able to sleep 2 more people in here. We do have storage underneath. So we're able to store some of our cooking appliances like rice cookers, our blenders will all be stored underneath here. So here in these cabinets, we actually have our clothes. Here I have our projector. So we're able to watch movies. Again, we just pull down this curtain. Here is where Jonluc has his clothes. I love thrifting. So a lot of the decor here was actually thrifted. A lot of the arts that you see on the walls, the baskets, was all thrifting. So you get that really like homey look for less. So here we have a cabinet, and here we're able to store things like Delilah's treats and leash. We have some journals and books, and along with just a bunch of knickknacks on the bottom. Basket, this pretty much just holds like our keys and stuff. So here we have our lovely blanket, and this is what we actually use to cover for privacy. But when we are driving, we have this up and you can see our cab. This is our bedroom. It's a full XL, so it's the length of a queen, but the width of a full-size bed. Pretty cozy. We have wrap-around windows, which is really like the best part about it. You wake up and just are able to see the beautiful view. We have a fantastic fan up here, which we use to stay cool at night. We have a little reading lamp here and a basket just to store some miscellaneous things like glasses and lights.
A great office, and it's actually been my favorite office. I'm a videographer and photographer. Working and editing is kind of hard because you lock yourself in a dark room and you edit for hours and your eyes get tired. But in here I can switch between our little sectional and our couch, or in our bed, or even the toilet, or go outside and take a walk and take a hike and then come back and sit down and edit.
So I've been a makeup artist for over 10 years now. So we do a lot of productions and photo shoots, but I also do pottery, and pottery is a new love of mine. It's something that I've been doing fairly recently, but I'm planning on opening a little pottery online shop.
So this is our bathroom. We have a shower right here. It's mainly just storage. We use an outdoor shower, or we go to Planet Fitnesses or YMCA's. And then right here we have our sink, which, just like the kitchen countertop, we redid, painted, new fixture, new sink. And right in here we have our closet, which holds just pretty much jackets. And up above here we have a beautiful mirror and our toiletries. And where I'm sitting is our beautiful brand new toilet, which is very important, unless you have a shovel. But if it's really cold, you're not going to want to use that shovel. So I suggest in your build making sure you have a safe, comfortable place every morning. We're one of the few tours you've probably seen where they have two different actual systems. We have a 24 volt system and we also have a 12 volt system. And our 24 volt system is a 0.0 Titan. This runs all our 120 appliances and I can turn that on and off. Also connected to this is the 600 watts of solar on the roof. And so basically this acts as a bank, and I let this fully charge, and then whenever our house battery gets low, I just flick it on, and in an hour our house battery is fully charged, and that'll keep us going for about 3 to 4 days. Never had any problems with power. Kind of have a lot more than we need, but I'm a videographer and I'm always plugging directly into this thing and editing. So really important, really happy with it. And it's also super easy friendly. If you don't know anything about electricity and how to wire things up, literally you have an RV plug on the front of this and it just punches in. And when you want to charge your house battery, you flick it on and you're good. Right here on the bottom half of this is 74 amp hours of 24 volt. And then with Titan, you can have extended batteries. And so in another compartment, I have a Battleborn 24 volt, 50 amp battery, and so those are connected. So really I have 124 amp hours of 24 volt and then 112 volt amp hours down below. So yeah, plenty of power. If you want to know more about our life and the way we live, you can head over to our Instagram, Jonluc and Jackie. We also have a YouTube channel, Jonluc and Jackie. You can head over to our website, which is www.jonlucandjackie.com, which showcases my portfolio and her portfolio for makeup and pottery.
And you could also find my makeup on Beauty by Jacko.
On Instagram.
On Instagram.
At the end of the day, you can have a small van or a huge bus, but what you're really craving is an experience and not things. You're trying to get away from things, just remember that. So ditch your things and just come and experience.
Hope to see you there.